Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to reduce inflammation using nature. I think one of the things when it comes to healing chronic inflammation and chronic symptoms is that we tend to forget that a lot of the healing actually comes from just being out in nature and really grounding yourself and finding time in your day to step away from the computer, step away from work, and ground ourselves in nature because it does make the biggest difference. And I'm sharing this because it's helped me so much with my own healing. I always see so much faster healing when I actually focus less on my diet and less on my supplements and focus more on the power of nature and how it does so much for our body that we actually don't even realize sometimes. There's a reason why nature works so well in healing chronic inflammation. There's lots of research studies and science around how nature and being outside affects inflammation and our mental health and all the things that we are trying to heal. Being in nature reduces cortisol levels, it helps to improve our mood, it reduces inflammation, and it even improves our immune system. And all of this is so important when we're trying to heal from symptoms like eczema, because eczema is related to your immune system and also your stress. If you have any other chronic symptom that you've been experiencing, whether that's fatigue, it could be you're getting lots of PMS symptoms, really bad migraines, all of that can be stress induced. And so when you put yourself in nature and you start going for walks and just breathing the air outside, because we're so stuck in our homes all the time, it helps so much in healing those symptoms. There was a study in 2022 which found that people who lived closer to parks and forests actually have lower CRP levels. CRP, which stands for C-reactive protein, is a marker of systemic inflammation. You can actually get blood work done and ask for a CRP. And so in this study, they found that people who live close to the forest and the park actually had lower amounts of CRP, lower amounts of inflammation. And it's because being an area where there's a lot of trees, green space, it actually reduces your cortisol levels, reduces inflammation, and it improves your mental health. Another study from 2021 found that people who listened to nature sounds, whether it's the ocean, the ruffling of the leaves, the birds, also produces inflammatory markers as well. When you are exposed to the calming sounds and just being out in Mother Nature, right, you are actually activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the nervous system that we want to be in if we want to be in a rest and relaxed state. Most of the time, a lot of us are in the sympathetic nervous system, which is the stress state that we often find ourselves in because of work, because of thoughts, because of relationships. And so we really have to be intentional in trying to find time for ourselves where we can activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And using nature is a really good way. And if you're someone who is constantly focusing on your diet and your supplements and you're wondering why it's not working, then you really want to ask yourself, okay, is my body in a parasympathetic state or is it in a sympathetic state? Because if it's constantly in the sympathetic state, then that means you are chronically stressed. And if that's the case, you can eat the perfect diet. You can take hundreds of supplements, but it's never going to work as much as you want it to work because your body needs to be in an optimal state in order for healing to happen. And that only happens when your body is in the rest and digest state, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. Your digestion and healing literally shuts down when you're stressed. And so you really have to be intentional in activating the parasympathetic nervous system so you can actually create space for the healing to happen. One of the most obvious signs that you're disconnected from nature is that you find yourself being indoors most of the time. Maybe you work from home and you never leave your desk. Now with sunrise being later for most of us in North America and setting earlier, we don't get that much sunlight. And so if you're someone who works from home and you're under artificial light, then you're definitely disconnected from nature and you really have to find time during your day at work to get some fresh air. If you feel like you have a lot of fatigue and just feeling mentally foggy or brain fog, even if you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, that could also mean that you're not getting enough exposure to natural sunlight or being outdoors enough. If you have a lot of anxiety, stress, mood swings, if you have a lot of inflammation in your body, that could also be a sign that you're disconnected from Mother Nature. And just overall, you just feel disconnected from your body. You're constantly at your desk, you're looking at your screen, you're slunched over, you're holding in a lot of inflammation. That can also be a sign as well. There is no harm in getting outside. It's completely free. You feel better, you get some sunshine. And honestly, even if it's not sunny, because I know a lot of you right now it's winter, as long as you're getting some kind of exposure to natural light, right? Not just our screens every day. It's not that hard. Open your blinds, open your windows, go outside, get some fresh air. You don't have to pay for it, not like diet and supplements we have to like actually spend money on, right? Nature is a free tool to help you heal. So why not take advantage of that? One of the things I really like doing is actually combining my mindfulness practice with being outdoors. It's very powerful and it actually amplifies the healing because yes, you can journal at home and you can do your meditation at home, but if you can actually do your mindfulness practice outside, that's a double whammy, right? You're getting double the benefits. And so what I like to do, and here are some tips to combine mindfulness and time outdoors, is doing a walking meditation. There are a lot of really good apps where you can listen to a walking meditation and go for a walk around the park, right? That way you're getting the benefits from the meditation and then you're getting benefits from being outside. Or it doesn't have to be walking meditation. It could just be a regular meditation that you enjoy doing. Find a spot at the park, sit at the bench and meditate while you're soaking in the sun. I love journaling outdoors as well. If you have a little patio outside or you have a park nearby, take your journal to the park and play some frequency music, right? And journal outside. It's so much better than being inside in the dark. The other thing I like to do is grounding. So actually walking barefoot on the grass and the sand, if you're near a beach, is very, very healing for the body. You're grounding to the earth, right? And that's very, very, very good for your body and your mood and inflammation. And while you do that, you can just breathe and just appreciate the nature and the abundance. And that's the other part when it comes to connecting with the outdoors using mindfulness is that, first of all, we're doing these things that are helpful, but it naturally shifts your mind into a positive mindset, into an abundant mindset, right? Because you're like, wow, I'm soaking in the air, I'm soaking in the smell of the leaves, the smell of the ocean, right? And you just feel very grateful and appreciative that you get to live in this world where there's incredible nature around us that we wouldn't be living if we didn't have these things. And so this helps a lot for those of you who struggle with, I don't know, spiraling or you're in a negative mindset, you think about your skin a lot. Like being in nature is so distracting in the best way because then you're more grateful. And gratefulness is the ultimate state of receivership, something I talked about before, but it's from Dr. Joe Dispenza, who says that the more that you're grateful of the things in your life and the things that you don't have in your life yet, then you actually draw more of those experiences to you. So, all really good things when it comes to nature. What's only going to be beneficial for you is whether or not you do it, right? And finding time in the day, and everybody has time in their day to do these things. If you have time to eat and you have time to make food, then you have time to be outside. Some quick, simple ways to help incorporate nature into your daily routine. First in the morning, I want you to open your blinds, open your windows, get that natural sunlight in. And it's very helpful for your circadian rhythm and it's going to be helpful for your sleep as well. If you have a nice patio, when you have your coffee, maybe sit outside on the balcony rather than being inside. Same thing when it comes to your meals, rather than sitting at your desk, working while eating at the same time, which I know I'm guilty of that. But as long as you can do your best in incorporating some nature into your day, into your week. Taking a short daily walk, so using your lunch breaks to have your meals, but also 5 to 10 minutes of being outside as well. If you have a dog, you have no excuse. I remember when I used to have Taco back home in Canada, he would force me to go outside because I struggled with that a lot because dogs need to have walks. And so that also helped me a lot in getting outside and going for a walk is because I had to walk my dog. So if you have a dog, walk your dog. Get outside. And then, of course, like I mentioned earlier, if you can combine being outside with a mindfulness practice, even better. Journaling, walking meditations, normal meditations, just being outside and appreciating the nature is also very healing. And so these are all the things that you can start including into your daily routine. And it's super easy, it's free. No excuses for it. That's what I have for today's episode. I hope if you take anything away from this episode is to get outside, no excuses. I know even if it's cold for a lot of you, just go outside and just take a deep breath, 5 deep breaths for 5 minutes. You're not going to die in the cold doing that. And yeah, just really take advantage of it as best as you can. Even if it's rainy and you hate the rain, okay, maybe you can do it indoors, but just like listening to the sound of the rain is also very healing, right? Like that study that I shared, listening to the sound of nature is also a part of healing as well. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your night. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.